Well, now, what is going on, everybody? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I hope so. Because otherwise, this would be like a silent film, and we'd have to have that old timey music. Dun 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 dun. I know, right? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's Secret Show. Shh. Our little secret. Have some fun tonight. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. That's probably up to you guys if you decide to hang out on a rare Monday night / Tuesday morning kind of thing. Uh, exactly, Troy, huh? that's that's the story of my life, right there. Those three little letters and that question mark. We got Les Bones here. Wesley Donison's here. Good to see y'all. My nephew Troy, who may be older than me. I don't know how that works out. Tina is here. Yona, my spirit Yona is here. Good to see y'all, man. We're just chilling out Monday night. Some stuff happening here, today. Found out oh, Ed's here too. Chicago Ed. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, so Atris is here too. Everybody's kind of filing in. It's like people late to church. I love it. Everybody outside having a smoke, and then the organ music starts, and you're like, your cigarette out, and then you go inside. That's how it was. And I used to live down south. I was raised Southern Baptist, hard shell on those churches. Good thing about is Fairy, it's here, Queen Fairy. What's up, sweetie? The good thing about a Southern Baptist wedding. Oh, we got somebody on Twitch too, right? Okay. If you're it's also streaming to Twitter and Facebook. But normally not hardly anybody ever comments on Facebook unless it's one of my relatives or some random friend of mine that just happens to be up at this time of the morning. No, Atris, this is not the Azov rally. That was over the weekend here in my town. In Lower Manhattan, some people decided to have a Nazi rally. That was nice. Brandy Weaver's here. Hello, Brandy. How you doing, doll? Good, 11 people. You guys just really don't have anything to do you? So I was just telling you, I was raised Southern Baptist, and the good thing about a Southern Baptist wedding, it's quick. Usually a Southern Baptist wedding lasts like maybe 10, the service lasts like maybe like 10-15 minutes. It's like the Marines, baby. You get in, you get out. You know what I mean? I'm doing good, Brandy. Thank you so much. I'm assuming that was for me. If not, I'm just letting you know how it was. So it gets a little weird here in the middle of the night. Everybody wants to get to the spread. Exactly. That's what it's like 10-15 minute ceremony, and then you get to the reception. But that's the bad thing about a Southern Baptist wedding is at least the ones I've been to, is the Southern Baptist it's no booze hardly. You have like punch and I don't know. I mean, it depends. Like this is at the church. Now I've been to Southern Baptist weddings at the church. I've been to weddings uh where oh hey cynical girl, good to see you. Um, I've been to weddings receptions in the South where there was booze, and I got hammered at a few of them. Uh, but I also went to a Catholic wedding in New Orleans. All right, and that was awesome. The ceremony took forever because Catholic weddings they got to do all this stuff, and people and I didn't have to do this, but these people up and down with the kneeling, up and down with the kneeling. Service took about 2 hours. Hey, what's up, Vic? Um, Service took 2 hours. It was beautiful. Don't get me wrong, beautiful Catholic church in New Orleans, and it was awesome. I mean, it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful ceremony, but geez Louise, come on, less this, more this. So, but the Catholic reception, oh boy, great New Orleans food. People brought the shrimps and all kinds of good like Cajun food in there and the booze. Ooh-wee. Okay, so I was working at this TV station down south, and so the guy that was getting married, he was from New Orleans, right? So he said we're having the wedding in New Orleans, and our chief engineer, um, he was he worked at the transmitter site a lot, which was in a rural area where the tower was, where the transmitter tower was, right? So he also now you remember this is the South, particularly this is in South Mississippi. So at the transmitter site, he had a still. He was making that shine. You know what I mean? I ain't talking about the shining with Scatman Carruthers. You got the shining. It wasn't that kind of shine. It was the shine of the moon. And oh boy, long story short, we he gave each of us that were in the wedding party a little mason jar about yay big of shine, and it was so good. It was like you couldn't taste it, you could barely smell it. It was just super smooth, um, and it just no burn. It's like when you drank it, it was like one of the best mixers. What's up, prop in the house? And but yeah, that shit fucked me up. And alls I know is the next morning I woke up under a table in the hotel room. I have no idea how I got there. So that was a New Orleans Catholic wedding. That's how it was. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Um so I don't know, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? I mean, people have been talking all day about this Elon Musk buying Twitter. He's going to do it. Um, there's kind of two camps have formed around that. There's some people that are just like, he's going to save us. He's going to make Twitter a great place and we can say whatever the hell we want to. And yeah, and kittens and stuff. And then there's other people who are saying it's a billionaire buying Twitter. Things are probably going to get worse. Um, Maybe there's a little bit of truth in both of those. Um, you know, because what I think is going to happen. Yeah, he is. I don't know how you pronounce that. Of course he is. He's a billionaire. He's a narcissist, right? Um, I think what's going to happen is going to be like it's going to be a little bait and switch. I think he's going to do some stuff off the top to make you think that he's going to like free it up and everything. But it's just like anything else. We can't have nice things, and it's probably just going to get worse. And you're just going to be back to the same old shit you're used to. You can't say certain words. on there, you'll get banned, then you'll have to come back with another another account, that kind of thing. So there's some good shows on tonight. uh Tara Reid had Jessie Jett on the show, on her show tonight. That was pretty cool. Shonda and Farron was doing they were going over the Johnny Depp what's her face, Amber Heard thing. Welcome back, Vic. We missed you. Uh I know, that's what I'm talking about, Brandy. That's what I'm talking about right there. I love seeing the shit libs panic. You see that? What was it? George Takei said, "I'm not going anywhere. You're not gonna chase me away from my little shitter Twitter. Oh my!" Like, who cares? Yeah, somebody made a good point. It's like the same people. It's like the people who said if Trump became president, they were going to move to Canada. It's well, if he buys this, I'm gonna I'm gonna leave Twitter. It ain't an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Okay, you just go. Bye bye. Nobody gives a shit. Blue no matter Sulu. Oh my. Yeah, that's my horrible George Takei impression. I do very horrible Star Trek impressions. My Kirk is awful. Yeah, no shit, right? Leo says Chekhov should have cold cocked Sulu. Yeah, I don't know. He probably would have cried, and he probably would have got the authorities involved. What will stop the U.S. government from forcing censorship on the platform? Y'all hear that shit Obama was talking about? He was like, yeah, these, gotta get these, we gotta get these social media companies to do some censorship. We can't be putting that shit out there all the time. Told you I do horrible impressions. Let's see. So we're gonna try a little something different tonight. I don't know how this is gonna work out. But we shall see. I'm gonna try and integrate the World Wide Web. Last time I tried doing this, I tried running some video, and didn't quite work out. It was all like, all robot-y and stuff. Yeah, I mean, he was like trying to say, well, there's more transparency to do that. What? I think of Stone Shell. He tortured some folks. He was Barry was nipping on too much of that Flint water and paint chips. Yeah, people reference it, and sometimes some people don't understand where that comes from. Michael Moore did a documentary called Fahrenheit 11/9, and they were talking about Trump, but then they were talking about everybody else too. Normally, Michael Moore, at least in recent years, has just really just become a big old puss. And oh, thanks, Vic. I'm trying. But he did go after Obama and him going to Flint, and him taking the water, just a little. Don't touch the lips. Don't touch the. Okay, there you go. And everybody in the crowd was like, "What's this bullshit? You're not drinking." Welcome back, Tina. I'm glad to see you back in the chat there. Yeah, he was pretending to sip on the water. He looked stupid. He thought those people in Flint, Michigan was stupid. And they were like, no, we ain't stupid. You're stupid for trying that bullshit. Anyway, so I don't know. What do you think? This is a good one. Let's get our buddy Fee in the mix. She's a sweetheart. Hopefully this works. We shall see. Fingers crossed. Survey says. All right. Billionaire Neuralink. Let's microchip humans. Elon Musk will save free speech, say members of the largest military covert agency powered government that coups, overthrows, she said coups, and sanctions countries, funds radicals and neo-Nazis, and imprisons journalists who expose its war crimes. Very good, Fee. Thank you. Um, uh, she's been killing it lately too. I really appreciate what Fee does. Her and Pasta on the combo couch there, and you know, oh, Sean King got booted, or I think he left Twitter. I think he did. Sean King, the Talcum X, um, he's gone too. We're just kind of going through Twitter here and seeing what kind of shit is happening here. So I guess he got scared. I like that. Are you serious? Serious? Hey, that's me. Uh, oops, I'm in the wrong thing. So, what is this bullshit? And be my see, this is like some Riddler shit. I know he's supposed to be like some sort of super villain, but I don't get that shit. Um, no, right? This is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping like, especially Meathead. I hope Meathead leaves. That guy's a piece of shit too. Him and Sulu, they need to Scray. They need to go find uh something. Let's see. I said this earlier today. Uh hey, that's me again. Um where is it? I share so much shit and then all my stuff gets lost. But I said, you know how when people oh, here we go. So when Trump got booted from social media, Trumpers flocked to get her. Now with Musk buying Twitter, will the shitlibs start shitter? I think they should start shitter. Um, you know, that's what I'm talking about. They're gonna start shitter. I'm pretty sure, or something like that. I bet you they start something. They want to be starting something, just like that Michael Jackson song. You want to be starting something. You want to be starting something. You want to be starting something. Sorry, a very underrated song. Um, so yeah, let's see what else we got going on here. Dave Mustaine voice. So yeah, so I don't know about this whole bullshit with Twitter. I don't think anything's gonna change, to be honest with you. At least it's not gonna get better. I don't think. Um, it's the word that deserves to be introduced in our modern lexicon for sure. You need lexicon. You using big words. This is this is a simple show, man. What uh I'm kidding. I'm glad y'all came out. I really do. I mean, this is just a little fuck around show I do. No rhyme or reason, no guests. You know, we just talk whatever you want to say. Um, what else is going on? I'm just kind of going through here and seeing. Oh yeah, that Azov shit. Um, very disappointed. New York is becoming such a shithole. It's like a liberal shithole place. You know what I mean? Let's see if I can find that. Gotta be in here. Okay. Let's get back to this. Here we go. Hopefully this isn't too fucking loud. We'll see. So this is in downtown Manhattan, near Wall Street.
But not only
Sub-Reef.
National Guard, Національна гвардія України також, поліція, батальйони морської піхоти. Люди, взагалі люди у Маріуполі.
Yeah, so and a lot of people forget that back in the 30s, during World War II, at Madison Square Garden, they had Nazi rally at the garden, right? You know, there were stupid people back then. There's stupid people today. You know? So there you go. And here you'll see some of these. Azov out of New York City. Zero tolerance for Nazi sympathizers. If you see something, say something, right? Oh, so this area here, the like I said, this is right near Wall Street, and that bull, there's like a statue of a bull with the little girl looking at the bull. It's like somewhere around here. But if you go up the street here, I used to work in that area. Yeah, we can't be having this shit. This is some dumb shit. And it's some dangerous shit too. It kind of reminds me, in the Blues Brothers, when they had the Nazi, it's like they were blocking a bridge, and the people were getting all pissed off because they couldn't get past them. And the cop said, "Yeah, it's they're expressing their freedom of speech." And then I think it's Jake, or I think it's maybe it's Jake. He says, "Yeah, I can't stand Illinois Nazis," and then he just drives through them. They all jump off the bridge and into the water. Right? I hate Illinois Nazis. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. What are you talking about? Show the interview video. What are you talking about, Atras? Who got interviewed? That's what I want to know. Let's see. Amber Heard, Johnny Depp don't really give a shit. Oh wait, this is some dumb shit. So if you've never been to New York, stupid shit like this happens. Told you dumb shit's gonna happen. So this happened not too long ago.
Dude, who you talking to like that? What the fuck are you talking to like that? What you looking at? I know you're not talking to me like that. I know you're not talking to me like that. You don't talk to me like that. What? What you gonna do? Really? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Ready? What you gonna do? Go ahead. What you gonna do? Let's go. Hey. What?
So I think that first part was staged, but this guy is not part of the act. I think he decided to jump in. So these other cats are just like, well,
You don't got something? No. What's on the house?
I think that's it. Maybe that's it. Yeah, there we go. Um so yeah. What's going on over here? You can't out dance Subway crackhead Bob. That's true, Ed. You know, I remember many a time riding the train, mostly the D train going into Manhattan from Brooklyn. And you'd be riding on it, and there's a long stretch from DeKalb to Canal Street, so because it goes over the Manhattan Bridge. So that's usually when kids would come out. You hear "Showtime, Showtime," and kids have a little boom box. They sit it down. It's like two or three of them. They start dancing, and you kind of like back up, because they're all over the place, and you know, hello. So and these kids would like swing around these poles like Batman. Um, yeah, Wesley, that's what you do when shit like that happens. You just look straight ahead on the train. Don't make eye contact. Um, you know, that's that's not the thing to do. Is to draw attention to yourself. So yeah, let's see here. What else do we have in here? No, go home. Ron Placone was in town today. I was feeling kind of under the weather. My buddy Indy Left went, and Big Mad Crab was there to see the show. I think I saw a picture. They had a pretty good time, I think. So, um, if you're into Ron Placone, um, ooh, is this spicy? I don't think this is spicy, but you tell me this is spicy. So this is Kim Iverson, Trouble at the Hill. So the Daily Beast says, Trouble at the Hill. Staffers at the DC outlet have complained to management about Kim Iverson, one of the hosts of the Hill's popular web show Rising, over her fringe views and misinformation media newsletter Confider has learned. Ooh, Kitty likes to scratch. Meow. Um, and Kim responds, Trouble at the Hill? Actually, no, far from it. Sure, maybe there's a hyper liberal person like in any organization that tries to silence views they don't like. But as CNN Plus has shown us, people with those views aren't popular. Ooh. Also, if the Daily Beast did a smidgen of journalism. Now, you may love, you may hate him. That's up to you. I'm not here to judge. Um, but that's a pretty good point. Hey, the Daily Beast is just shit. They're a bunch of assholes anyway. And CNN Plus, who it lasted like a month. Man, talk about new Coke. Um, they I don't know if some of you older folks may remember back in the 80s. So Coca-Cola was like number one. It still is number one, but uh they decided to change the formula Coca-Cola, and they called this new formula New Coke, and people hated that shit. It was like, what the fuck are you doing to Coke, dude? Um and They were like, we're sorry. And then they went back to the original formula and they called it Coke Classic, right? And then they made like a buttload of money. So it was probably, yeah, exactly. New Coke was the divert. It was a smoke screen. So because after they stopped doing New Coke, they went back to the Coke Classic. They were just making more money than ever before. But in some places around the country, um, you can still buy New Coke. Um, there was a place I remember I was in Decatur, Mississippi. I'll never forget this. I was coming home. I was going to Mississippi State, and I was coming home to the coast, and I was having car trouble, and I had to stop in Decatur, Mississippi, and get something on the car fixed. So I went to this little like convenience store looking thing. It was a really small, just really small town. And I went to this little convenience store, and in the window they had a 2 liter New Coke. And you know how like in bodegas, if you've ever been in the big cities in the bodegas that have shit in the window for so long that the labels are faded, so it had like a faded label on there, and yeah, it was like, and this was like, I want to say this was late '90s when this happened, maybe early 2000s. Mexican Coke is the best. They use real sugar. They do not use high fructose corn syrup. Um, but now though, don't they? Doesn't Coke have an American version now? Um, that has like cane sugar in it or something like that. I thought there was. I could be wrong. Let's see what other kind of trouble there is on Twitter here. I'm sure somebody's starting some shit. Didn't really want to go into too much about the Ukrainian shit. That's just kind of depressing stuff. I mean, you get it from your regular news sources on here. You don't come here for that kind of shit. But I did want to share that shit that happened in Manhattan. That really pissed me off. I know it's been on like a few other shows too. It's just, New York is just it's become an expensive, gentrified, shit lib, Nazi loving town. And I want to get out of here. I'm not a fan of this anymore. Shut up, phone. You're supposed to be sleepy. Why are you sleepy? Ain't you sleepy? Anyway, how you guys doing? What's going on? Coke Life? The hell is that, Ed? What is Coke Life? Is that like Coke One or Coke Zero? Is it like that? I don't drink soda either. Although the only soda I'll drink every once in a while, Arizona does a cherry lime Ricky, and it's really good. That is good. It's like it's sparkling water with cherry and lime in it. It's pretty tasty. Not a lot of sugar either. So let's see what else is going on. Taylor Lorenz, y'all heard about that shit. I'm crying. So Matt Orfala. Let's see what Matt's up to. So, Morning Joe never tells viewers that their expert urging more weapons to Ukraine also sits on the board of directors of Lockheed Martin, the largest military contractor in the world. An obvious conflict of interest, but they will tell you about his side gig as a DJ. Wow, well, that's fucked up. I think last time we all got together, there's a few spicies in the chat. I don't think we were talking about like Pornhub or something like that. These conversations, even though it's kind of one-sided, it isn't really one-sided because I'm looking at the comments and I'm responding to your comments. So, you know, it's kind of nice. I just don't hear your voice, but I see your words, which is cool. Um, while I'm looking for whatever else is rolling on here. So this Thursday, so far, uh, I got Lainey Peterson from Hardlands Media and 99 Perspectives. Miss Glory Jones is going to be on the show for the first time. That's going to be fun. Um, and we're going to have a another women in independent media night. Uh, last time we did that, we had Noli and Noli D, Jimmy Sunderland, and Bess from Millennial Splaining. And we had a great time, and we were talking about just all the things women are achieving in independent media, and they're just getting better and better. So I'm going to talk to them. Hopefully I can get Tara Reid on. I think she's going to be on. It's going to be at 9 o'clock Eastern time on all the various channels. I believe we're going to have it on Indie Left's Rockfin too. I think he'll probably want to do that. I'm trying to get Steph Zamorano on there too. She said she had to check her schedule, and that was like a couple of days ago. So, not quite sure if she's going to be there or not, but it's going to be a fun time. I'm looking forward to that. So, Coke with agave syrup would be based. I like any sort of replacement for high fructose corn syrup. Cane sugar is good with me. Um, you know, is it stevia that's used as a what? What is stevia as natural birth control? Um, Variant, I don't know. Let's look that. You know what? Fuck it, we're gonna look that up. Hang on a second. Stevia. Oh, there's somebody dying outside, so birth control. Let's see what pops up. Does stevia prevent? Oh, I don't think so. Um, so this is from medicalnewstoday.com. Studies using rat embryos have established that stevia did not affect pregnancy or fertility outcomes and was non-toxic to fetal tissues. However, some of the common counterfeit ingredients found in stevia mixtures and formulas are linked to serious complications and may cause birth abnormalities. So, if you're going to get knocked up, maybe avoid stevia. Pretty sure that's the thing to do. Etrin. Poor variant. Everybody does that. Everybody fucks up. Like, I hate that shit. You know what I hate? Hate it when you're typing something. Say, I'm not like a natural typist. I look down at the keyboard when I'm typing, right? Because I want to make sure I hit the right keyboard. I can't do this look up and type shit like super typists. And I'll type tippity tip tap 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 tap, and I'll hit enter, and then I'll look up and half my shit's misspelled. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I think it's a conspiracy for us to not communicate with each other, so that um you know so like keyboards and even the things on our phone kind of fucks everything up. Wesley says, make sure you get the genuine stevia and not some knockoff, but how could you be sure? Yeah, I didn't even know there was a knockoff stevia. I guess there is. Trying not to move, don't want to wait. You know who? I know who that is. Hey, Varian, let me ask you something. Does Chris sleep in those polo shirts since he loves them so much? You can ask him when he wakes up. Don't wake him up now, obviously. Um, yeah, I think he does sleep in those shirts. Um, what else is going on? I'm not quite sure here. Randy says I just blame my mistakes on my ADHD. That's the way to do it. When in doubt, just blame it on something that can't fight back. That's my motto. That's like catfishing, only it's like instead of you having a fake girlfriend, you have a fake something to blame. Uh that's funny. Uh so looking on the Twitter shitter here, looks like most people talking about Musk. Like we said before, there's like kind of two camps now. You're either like really excited to see what he's gonna do with it, and people, or you're in the camp where you're just like, he ain't gonna do shit. Probably make it worse. Um, I don't really see anything else on there. Um, yeah, but I think Brandy said it earlier. He loves the polos far too much to sleep in them, and that makes sense. But they're super shirts; they don't wrinkle, and they give him his magical powers. Um, I think I'm firmly in the camp where I'm just enjoying these shit libs sweating and yeah, like sweating over this shit. Like if he brings Trump back. And if I was Musk, I don't even give a shit about Trump. But if I was Elon Musk, I'd be like, you know what, fuck it, I'll bring it back, just to piss people off, you know. But I don't think anybody should be banned. You should be banned. You know, all we're doing is giving people the excuse to be ignorant. You know what I mean? Giving people the excuse to not think critically. Um, and we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't have to punish other people, especially taking away their freedom of speech, just because you're afraid that what they're saying is going to uh, influence other people to do shit. And that's not how that works, you know. Um, because we don't have free speech is like one of the that was like the super big thing about America, especially when a lot of other countries didn't have free speech. Um, you didn't have freedom of the press. You couldn't complain about your political leaders, your elected officials. That's some very scary shit when you're going to get punished for that. Um, and these people that say, well, Twitter and YouTube and they're all private companies. Um, I mean, they are for now. I think they should be nationalized. I think they should be public utilities. And it's 2022. We're not using rotary phones anymore. You know, we're not doing that shit. We're using the computer. We're using the internet. Businesses, a lot of businesses can't survive in 2022 without the internet. So it's a vital artery in how we live in this country, how we communicate with one another, right? You know, your phones, your phone. It's a phone, but it's also got the internet on it. Unless it's a flip phone, then you're a drug dealer. You got a burner. Uh, but the times have changed, and a lot of places like there's certain businesses and stuff that you can't access without the internet. You know, they're all online businesses, right? So you need the internet. That's why we should make those public utilities. And we should have, I believe, Ed, they were talking about this on Chicago Corner the other night. And I know, I mentioned Ron Placone before. He's trying to do this in Pasadena, trying to get them to have municipal uh, internet service providers, um, where you pay for your internet through your taxes. You don't pay private business. And Chattanooga, Tennessee has a really, really good municipal internet. Let me see if I can pull that up. And I believe the costs aren't that bad either. Chattanooga has some of the fastest internet connection speeds in the world. And it's all fiber optic network installed by the government owned electric company, EPB. And that's what we need these days, right? So if more people are starting to work from home, you need reliable internet service, and you can't depend on these corporations to do it. As far as like free speech, you're getting more and more people who are doing shit like this, live streaming, you know? And in order to do that without running into a lot of problems, you have to have, at some point, you're going to need fiber. You need fiber to do it, because coaxial cable is all well and good. That's what I have right now. I have coaxial cable, but it's not consistent, and the upload speeds on mine are fairly low. I have just enough to where I can do this kind of thing. If I try to run like video and stuff like that, it's kind of dicey, you know. So I have to kind of do a workaround. But yeah, our telephone company offers fiber optic and it's cheaper than AT&T. That's the thing. I mean, we could get fiber here. It's just it's geared more for businesses, so it's a little bit pricier. Some parts of the city have fiber, but it's mostly coax in Chicago. It'll be a battle to dislodge corporate broadband from Chicago. Yeah, but of course it'll be a battle to dislodge corporate anything. You know, I mean it's the government and the corporations have joined forces. I mean, what is that called? It's called fascism, right? Where your rights don't really count, but you know, the corporation needs to be bailed out. No problem. You need to be bailed out. Yeah, we're gonna have to means test that, and it's gonna take months. And by the time you actually get anything, any sort of crumbs, you'll probably starve to death, or you'll have gotten kicked out of your home, that sort of thing. You know, and that's the world we're living in right now. So if people think we can vote our way out of this, you know, you really can't. Not with a duopoly. If you think a Democrat or Republican is going to save the day, no, I'm sorry. You know, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be pessimistic about it, but we've seen it. We've seen what's happened with these two parties, and they just play off of each other, and they're playing games, and they all vote on the same rotten shit that they want, or their donors want, their owners want. And the only way we can get anything done is through state ballot initiatives, and you know that's like climbing a mountain to get those done too, you know. So we have to get out in the streets. We have to protest. We have to do like France does. France is like out there every weekend, just filling the streets. Macron, he just won re-election, so I'm pretty sure nothing's changing over there, so they're still going to protest. And why don't we do it here? Because we're so divided, we're so split. There's always distractions. Like we could all be on the same team about something, then these distractions come in and just carve us up like a Ginsu knife, just put us against each other. Russiagate was one thing, then COVID, and now Ukraine, and it's just going to be one thing after another that the powers that be are just going to throw at us to divide us. And yeah, exactly. If you still feel compelled to vote out each and every incumbent. Who are you going to replace them with? That's the thing. Where are these leaders going to come from? You're going to clone Chama Sawant. She's probably the best of the group right now. Maybe this Chris Smalls guy will eventually run for office. Will he still be the same guy that helped start the Amazon labor union? People get co-opted. Look what happened this weekend. You had Bernie and AOC yesterday in Staten Island saying, woohoo, yeah, now that y'all got this shit done and we didn't have to do any work, we're going to come in and go woohoo, because November's coming. And the Democrats are dead on arrival. And they're desperately trying to do as little as possible, but still get your vote. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of these pony shows like they did in Staten Island. And I'm glad Chris Smalls didn't take the bait too much, but I like the guy. I do, but we've been burned too many times by people that have just come out of nowhere. And I told somebody the other day I got cautious optimism. Cautious optimism. Use the same tactics repeatedly, but the masses just don't see it. But fortunately, more and more people are starting to see it, but it's just not quick enough, Maybe you could change things on the local level. You got some local things like this, been the same shit all the time in your communities, a small town, something like that. Maybe elections can change things there. I don't know. It just wears me out thinking about this shit. And this makes me sad knowing that people like in Flint, Michigan and other places, Flint's not the only place that has lead in the water. There's other places around the country too. Just Flint has just gotten a lot of the attention because of Michael Moore, and since he's from there. But think about our infrastructure. Think about our bridges, roads, people driving along. And wait a minute, I think they showed this on Hardlands Media. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. I don't know. Where is it? It was I think it was a structure, it was a support structure under one of the elevated trains in Chicago, and it was at the bottom, it was all rusted out. And that's the heavy trains go across there. Bridges collapse because funds are diverted from infrastructure and put in the pockets of people, ripping off cities and counties. And we can't have that shit anymore. We have to put a stop to it. A lot of people say, well, how do we do that? Do we have to get violent to do that? I don't know. I hope not. I hope peaceful protests would do the trick. But even peaceful protests get turned into violence because of people infiltrating and instigating, who are against the protests. They come in as, what do they call them? Agent provocateurs. And they come in, they'll be just like blend in with everybody, but then they'll start like breaking shit and stuff. And then the next thing you know, on the TV, it says looters, 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 riots, looters. It's like, no, this was started out as a peaceful protest, and it got fucked up by people who don't want these protests to succeed, you know? And like I said, it's just one of those Ginsu knives. So societal Ginsu knives that divide us, to keep us from being out in the streets, mass protests, to get things, changed. And this is a big country too. People forget. This is a big ass country, and we have like close to 350 million people. That's a lot of cats to herd. So, trying to get a good majority of those people together is tough. And it's especially frustrating because half the voters in this country, they don't even recognize themselves as a Democrat or Republican. They're either independent or they're third party. And actually, I think it's more than 50%. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to say, but the numbers for Democrats and Republican voters is starting to go down and down because people find there more and more people are learning that these parties are shit. I don't know. I'm kind of controversial in my belief about parties. I think we should ban political parties outright. Everybody should be an independent candidate. Maybe there's some downsides to that I'm not aware of, that people might say, well, if you eliminate political parties, then A, B, and C could happen, and that's very bad for democracy. Okay. I mean, if somebody wants to explain that to me, that's cool. I'm more than willing to listen to that, but all I know is you can't get third parties on the ballots in these states because more than likely Democrats are going to sue to get them off. It's already happened. We've seen it already. We know Democrats are shit. They're not going to do anything. We know Republicans are shit. They have their own special interests too. And that's the thing. You go back and forth. Like, see, right now, Democrats control everything. Everything sucks. So now the Republicans are going to take over. Same shit's going to happen. Everything's going to suck. Then they're going to blame the Republicans, and then the Democrats. It's like a windshield wiper. You got one going there. You got one there. Shh, 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 shh. The same shit. And meanwhile, you're getting promised $2,000 checks, and you're only getting $1,400. You're getting told that we're going to try and legalize marijuana. Nah. All these people, all these promises to get you to go out to wait 7-8 hours in line to vote, and your vote may or may not even count depending on where you live. It's a ridiculous situation. It just seems like a futile effort. We need to change the system, and we need to stop thinking left, right. We need to stop thinking Democrat, Republican. Lots of people have said this, and I agree with it. It's a class thing. It's the haves and have-nots, and how we get to where have-nots get more of the basics: food, housing, we said fixing the infrastructure, and all the other problems that these parties and their elite handlers are ignoring so that they can live in these big mansions with all these servants and put their money in the Cayman Islands so it doesn't get taxed. You know, I mean, it's not that simple, but I'm not particularly smart in talking about the details of all that, but the pretty much bottom line, that's where we're at, is there's a lot of different things that are wrong in this country, and the only way we're going to change anything is to you know we got to work together, and we got to stop being distracted by Johnny Depp trials and billionaires buying Twitter. um what's this variant? The tea made from the leaves, I missed what leaves are, or is used in Paraguay to treat diabetes as well as contraceptive. Are we back on stopping baby making? Is that what it is? All right, fine. um I'm all for natural remedies. I tell you, I had like about yeah, it was about 15 years ago, 16 years ago, I had a double hernia surgery, and it turned out fine. I didn't have much pain afterwards, but I was laid up for a few days, and whatever pain I did have, they gave me a prescription for Vicodin, I believe. Um it wasn't Percocet. I think it was Vicodin. They gave me a prescription for that. But I was staying with a couple buddies of mine, and they had really good California weed. So I just smoked the weed instead for any time I had pain, and I didn't need those pills. So I don't even think I got the prescription filled. I just smoked weed, and my pain was gone. So I mean, that's one herbal remedy, and there's other more. I think there's other herbal remedies that not a lot of people know about. But tell you this though too, when you're poor and you can't afford to get prescription medicine, a lot of times you have to get creative, and you have to use uh, certain herbal remedies. I mean, they don't all work, but some of them do. And it's amazing how you'll talk to some people, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, if you just have a little ginger root, that'll do wonders for you too." Or some sort of like root, or some sort of fruit, or some sort of whatever, leaves or plants, um, that you can ingest in various ways, and they just do wonders for you. Um, Pre-COVID, I was hopeful that if enough people woke up, we could still change things, but they've shown their true influence and power in the past 2 years. So I mentioned something the other day. So Jimmy Sunderland and I, we do a show on KRTD on Wednesdays, and we were doing a news show about I can't remember what the particular story was, but I mentioned something about how um, we had shipped jobs overseas, we'd outsourced everything, and how we were, and I think Jimmy mentioned that we were getting a lot of our medicines from China, and I said, well, we should be making all that stuff, the necessities that we need, here. And I'm not going to name names, but some guy took it as I was supporting the World Economic Forum and the pandemic, because I wanted to make shit in America. Don't quite get that connection, but it's true. We need to start making more stuff here. And even though it's cheaper to get it from overseas, we can't depend on that. Times are changing. I mean, look at food prices, look at gas prices. We got, first off, we need to learn how to grow our own food. If you live in the cities, get out of the city. I'm trying to get out. I'm saving money. Um, that's MAGA talk. That's magic talk. Um, but no, it makes sense. like I said, when I grew up, my dad taught me how to. We had huge gardens. It was like half a football field size, like fruits and veggies. You had greens, you had roots, berries, all kinds of stuff. And then we had uh oh shit, what's the thing when you compost? So we had compost, and we'd make compost, and we'd put that back into the soil. And yeah, people need to learn how to do that shit, because these food prices are getting outrageous already. And the real shit's coming. I tell people this. It's like, look, you this is just the warm up act. Real shit is coming soon. And people need to be prepared for that. Now, my buddy Steve Poikinen over there at Slow News Day, he'll tell you about parallel societies and how we need to learn how to grow our own food, but he'll also tell you about making your own ammunition, that sort of thing. Now, you know, I'm not gonna tell people go make bullets, but depending on where you are, things could get hairy, and you may need to have to protect yourself and your family. If you're in that situation, I would just say, you know, try to use your best judgment with that. Um, because you don't want to start wars within your community, but at the same time, you don't want to get robbed, and you don't want to get killed by desperate people. Um, and that's the one thing I'm really worried about is desperation setting in with people. Now, remember, we've been a society for a while that's used to instant gratification, right? And it's going to get to a point where we're not going to have that, and things are going to be slow, and we're going to have to, like I said, when you grow your own food, it's not like going to the Piggly Wiggly and go and pick up a head of lettuce and a slab of meat. If you're going to still eat meat, that means you're going to have to learn how to hunt game, deer, rabbit, whatever you want to eat meat wise. Or if you don't want to eat meat anymore, you're going to have to learn how to grow vegetables and grow some sort of protein in order to sustain yourself. This all sounds like dystopian, apocalyptic shit, but I mean, it's going to come to a point where it's going to be enough is enough. And the elites, the people in power, they're just going to keep pushing us and keep pushing us and keep pushing us to test our boundaries, to see how much we will take. And so far, we have taken a lot. That's not going to last. It's not going to last. So just, like I said, learn how to farm. Even if it's just like a small plot, grow the basics, man. Grow you some tomatoes, grow you some, potatoes or whatever, whatever you want to eat, make sure that your diet is good, because, you don't want to be rolling around the apocalypse looking like all, you gotta stay healthy, because, like I said, all that automatic shit is going to be gone. Yeah, Dick, that's right. Dry, pickle, jelly. Yeah, canned. You got to can stuff. You like, because not all the stuff you're going to be able to save. We had a deep freeze, and we would, like, when it come to harvest time, we always had way too much. So we'd go around and give relatives and some of our friends and neighbors, we go around and give them food out of the garden, because there's so much food, right? And I had cousins who were deer hunters, and they would come around every once in a while, and they'd give us deer steaks and stuff like that to cook up. And um so we shared with our community, but we also still had plenty to put away to freeze. You're not able to freeze it. You have to find other ways like canning and jarring and that sort of stuff, pickling. And you know it's 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 just something we're going to have to do. Maybe it may not be tomorrow, but it could be the next day. um Container gardens are good. um Beans and squash and corn, we need to learn from what's left of the cultures we destroyed. That's true. Our native friends can teach us a whole lot um about what the earth can give to us without us poisoning it anymore. And I tell people, like my conservative pals, who are, call people tree huggers and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, you go fishing, right? You go deer hunting, right? Do you want poison fish? Do you want poison game? Then you got to quit polluting the environment, you know? I mean, it may be too late. Maybe we've already reached that tipping point. Um, I always tell people about the ice shelves, the glaciers in Antarctica, how these ice shelves are keeping them in place on the western side of the continent. And once those things go, bloop, those glaciers are going right in the drink, and then they're going to melt because the rising sea temperatures, the water in the seas is getting warmer. It's going to melt that ice, and then boop, 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 boop. You could say, see ya, Florida. You could say, see ya, East Coast. See ya, West Coast. Just saying. If there's anything else in here. That's all kind of gloom and doom shit, but at the same time, it's probably stuff we need to remember, and just keep it in, at least keep it in the back of your mind if you're not at a point where you can do that. Yeah. And I grew up on the Gulf Coast, man, like eating shrimps and oysters, crabs, stuff like that. So I love seafood, and it tears. We had the BP oil spill back, it was a 2010, I think, and it just fucked up the Gulf. There's still oil in the Gulf, on the bottom of the Gulf. Yeah, it's still there. You know, I don't know. Maybe we need to find ways of turning seawater into fresh water, but that takes like a hell of a lot of electricity, I believe, a lot of power to do that. So was another thing too. I watched that documentary Planet of the Humans, and it really opened my eyes to a lot of like wind and solar and stuff. Everybody think, well, that's going to be the answer, wind and solar, but it's like, well, you got to maintain wind and solar. And what if these windmills and these solar panels break, right? You can't recycle them, at least not right now. So you're kind of defeating the purpose. You're just causing more ecological damage by having this garbage that you can't recycle. And then some biofuels, you have to chop down half a forest just to get a few tanks of gas. That's ridiculous. We need the trees because we need the oxygen, and the trees also take the CO2 out of the air. That's how it works. It takes in the CO2 and lets out oxygen. That's why we can still breathe and all that shit on the planet. I mean, that's just kind of very simplified, but that you get the gist. I don't know. I'm just worried. Not a lot of people are thinking about this kind of stuff. And I'll tell you, I didn't used to think about this when I was younger, but now I'm getting older, and it's like, I didn't think this when I was in my teens. I didn't think the future would be like this. But as I started getting to my 20s and my 30s, I was starting to figure out more and more. Yeah, it's getting, and now it's getting, I'm in my 50s now, and now it's getting really bad. Um, um, Wesley says evaporative desalination works. It's just a big investment in infrastructure. Well, there you go again. Infrastructure. And clean water is more valuable than gasoline. And yeah, it's going to get to that point. It's going to get to the point where it's just um water shortages. Look at what's going on in California, Nevada. Um, you still have dumbass people that are doing what's the what is that? Oh shit. Hang on a second. I always forget this name. Anyway, it's not soy milk. It's the nuts that take a lot of water to grow. Almond milk, yeah, like almonds. It takes a buttload of water to grow almonds, and that's what they're doing out there. The vineyards out there, same thing, getting all the water. The water needs to go into the cities. Golf courses, just these grandiose front yards and stuff that are just constantly being watered. It's just our priorities are fucked. You know what I mean? We have such a high population of Marshallese here that we also have a Marshallese consulate. Oh, you're talking about the Marshall Islands. Yeah. I think I'm just rambling at this point. I'm not really telling you anything you don't already know. Just kind of preaching to the choir. But it's good to get this kind of stuff out. And people that aren't really taking this seriously, kind of like, they're like the Kurgan from Highlander. It's better to burn out than to fade away. They don't really know that they're gambling with their futures. I mean, talk to them. Just tell them, look, we need to start gardening. We need to start growing some food. We need to start changing a lot of the ways that we deal with shit, and we need to tell a lot of people and get them on board, because a lot of people don't know they're getting snowed in by this what their politicians tell them, like, nah, things are fine, just keep voting for us, we'll make sure everything's good. It's just it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. So yeah, that's 117. Fuck it. Let's go ahead and call it. Wesley, yes, Adams, thank you so much. Brandy, Ed, Atris, you guys hung around till the bitter end. You're very sweet people. Love you all. Variant, love you, sweetie. Who else is in the mix? Maybe that's everybody. I know. Troy, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you hanging out for as long as you did. Some others early on, and I think that I passed them out. Tina shut up. Thanks, doll. I appreciate you. And Reefer, of course. Reef, my brother from INN. I think I got everybody. I think that's it. So yeah, Wednesday, Jimmy Sunderland and I on KRTD. We'll give you an hour of news. Hopefully it'll be something you can use. And then Thursday night, extra Bulla special with women in independent media. Like I said, Lainey Peterson from Hardlands Media and 99 Perspectives, she's going to be there. Lori Jones from Mikasa Sukasa, you know her. She's such a sweetheart. I can't wait to talk to her. Hopefully Tara Reid's going to be there with us. I think she's going to join us. It's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I believe she's going to be there. Like I said, I'm trying to get Steph Zamorano on, but I'm going to say she isn't until she says she is. And yeah, thank you, Wesley. And thank all of you guys. I initially started doing this little secret show thing just so I could you know, test out the equipment. Sometimes I make little changes here and there to try and make it a better stream technically. And so I just wanted to do this in the middle of the night, and then a whole bunch of people showed up. I was like, cool. I guess we're gonna do this on the regular. But if you can, that's the donation and info links down below. Linktree, extra Bulla. You can find what platforms I'm on. My contact information on what social media I'm on, and there's also donation links. If you can throw me a couple bucks, it's great. If you can't, totally understand. I'm right there with you. I kind of wish I could win lottery so I could give all these great content creators that provide us so much information. I could get them more funds. I would totally do it. Hopefully soon. We'll see. But if you can, like the stream, share it out. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. We're trying to do more things on this channel. Trying to get more interesting people on here to talk to. Do more things like this where we could talk to the chat more, that sort of thing. I'm big on communications. I'm big on I don't like drama. I don't like bullshit stories that you could read off of any mainstream media source. That doesn't affect you, that sort of thing. But I appreciate all y'all for coming out and hanging out for this long. Get some sleep. You're looking haggard. Come on, get some rest. I'm kidding. You look gorgeous. Yeah, I guess that's it. I really don't know how to end these things. Wash your ass. Have a clean ass. Love to you all. Variant, thank you, sweetheart. Clean ass is a good ass. And if you eat ass, you don't want to eat dirty ass. We'll save that for another day. Peace out, home slice. Word to your mother.